Hi, team. This is Karen Gleason, and I am here to talk to you about how to use host credit to offset the discounts that you're going to give people through our super sale. This is just a really neat, fun thing to be able to do. And what it's going to be predicated on is what the total of your sales are through the super sale. The more sales you have, the more likely that you're going to be able to use host credit to cover at least a good substantial portion of it. So I would definitely encourage you to keep inviting, keep inviting, keep inviting. Do not worry that the sale is coming up on Sunday. I honestly think that the closer to the sale that you invite people, the better it is. Because let's face it, otherwise they're going to forget about it. So seriously, I'm going to still be inviting people on Sunday. There is nothing wrong for you to even pop on Facebook, uh, right before the sale Sunday night. And if you can see that people, how you can see when people are active on Facebook, all of a sudden you realize, hey, I should invite that person. Just, hey, I see you're on Facebook. You want to join this sale that we have going on. So, because the more people that you invite, then hopefully the more sales you have. One thing that I can tell you is that what I found from the last time we did the sale, there were a lot of people who asked to be added to the sale, and that was awesome. But not all of them then got on live. And of the people who did get on live, obviously not all of them are going to order. So just remember that you might add 50 people to the sale, and maybe only 25 of them are actually going to get on live, and maybe out of that only 15 of them are going to order. So numbers like that, obviously if you can start out with more to begin with, it's going to help you out. So let's talk specifics about, hey, how do we use host credit? And I'm also just going to tell you a little bit about just kind of when we did this last sale, how I kind of managed and kept track of things, what worked for me. You should definitely do whatever is going to work for you. Um, but what I found, I actually didn't use the spreadsheet. Um, I think you should, again, just before the sale, kind of start thinking about, hey, how do I want to track this? Am I a spreadsheet kind of person? Do I feel like this is going to really help me? I felt like I was going to do just fine if I just had a pile of order forms handy, and I wanted to just total things by just sitting there and going through the order forms. I didn't feel, I guess for me, it kind of felt like just additional work to then transfer the information from the order forms onto the spreadsheet to calculate things. Um, I'll show you how I filled out the order forms and how I did that. What I had handy then, so like I said, I had a stack of order forms just, sitting there. That's what I'll be doing Sunday, 8 o'clock before it's ready. I'm just going to have my stack of blank order forms and my pen out ready to write, hopefully writing down lots of orders. Then the other thing that I had handy was I had the list of the sale items. So this has been sent to you. And so it has the line here that shows the discount. So it's got the sale price. That's what you're going to be collecting from the customer. That's what you're going to charge the customer. And then it has the discount. So um, when people were ordering, I had that handy because what I wanted to know when this got all done is I wanted to be able to look at each order form and know, okay, what sale price have I promised to the customer? Because what I'm going to charge and collect from my customer is going to be the sale price plus shipping. So, and I wanted to be able to know immediately too, how much did this person save, so that when I was contacting her to collect, I could say, oh, Susie, you saved almost $20. So I'm watching, and Susie says, I want a large rancher, I want a large kids cheese, and I want a jug of oil. So I'm going to fill out the order form. And you guys, there's going to be a document where I'm going to write up some instructions and just kind of give you some numbers. So don't worry too much about what exactly these numbers are. I just kind of want to give you a sense of the process. So using the sale price, she gets to buy those at $22, $14, and $44. That's a sale price, so that I know, okay, that's $80 and then plus shipping. So on my order form, as I'm writing this down, at the same time, I'm looking over at the sales sheet to remember, okay, so what's the discount? And some of this you won't even need to look at the sales sheet if you just know our, prices right off the hand. But then I'm going to write down, okay, so savings is, okay, so the discount on the Ranchers was $5.50. The discount on the kids' cheese was $3. The discount on the jug of oil is $11. So that's $19.50. Okay, so my customer saves $19.50. The reason why I wrote it down that way is because let's see if I can move this right. Okay, so $80 plus $19.50 is $99.50. That's the actual total of the products. When I enter this order into the computer, that's going to be $99.50. I am now going to charge her $89.95 because shipping on $99.50 is going to be $9.95, and her sale price was $80. But when I am calculating what my total sales are, which is going to tell me how much host credit I'm going to be able to get, the total sales is calculated on the normal price. Try to get my finger here, point to the right thing. Okay, normal price, not what I'm charging the customer. All right, I'm hoping that makes sense to you. So I just, as this is going on, I'm just writing these up, and the other thing that I also did is I just waited to see who ordered. I did have, the last time we did this, it was a great way, and it's what I love about the sale. I picked up some new customers. I had made this post to my Facebook wall, and I had people saying, oh, add me to the sale. And I'm like, okay, Carol Jenkins wants me to add her to the sale. I don't know who she is. I have no idea how we know each other. I went into my contact database. She's not a current customer. But honestly, I don't know whether she's even going to actually get on the sale or whether she's going to order. So it's up to you whether you at that point want to reach out to Carol and say, hey, why don't I go ahead and collect your contact information? I actually think that's a really good idea, because then you could get her address and her most importantly, her email address, and you could put her into your contact database. And if she doesn't end up ordering through the sale, now she's going to start getting your newsletter. But if for whatever reason you're not able to, connect with the person, I know the last time we did this, and this time too, I'm probably not going to have time to connect with all the people that are brand new to me, and I'm going to have to just wait and see if they order. Then I'm going to reach out and say, thanks for your order, and hey, I need to get your shipping address and your email and all your contact information. So as far as host credit is concerned, this is where whether or not you're going to be able to use host credit is going to depend upon how much you collect in sales. So that's why it's handy to have your little stack of order forms. So when you get all done, you add them up. Make sure you are adding them up based on the regular price, and see what your grand total is. Hopefully it'll be nice and big. If your grand total is less than $350, then you're actually not going to be able to use host credit, because, as you know, our minimum host credit amount is $350. I still think that it was great that you participate in the sale, even if you don't end up collecting enough to hit host credit. And the reason why is because, first of all, I think you should reach out and contact each of those people personally to collect their payment, and use this as an opportunity to upsell. So maybe you can end up getting more than $350, even if you didn't right off the bat. You can send them a message and say, thank you so much for your order. Hey, can I give you a phone call? I'll collect your payment information. And when you get them on the phone, you can say, oh, Susie, okay, I saw that you want to order the kids' cheese and, this and that. Hey, as long as I'm putting this order in for you, Is there anything else that you need? And anything else, then, she may say, well, yeah, I could also use blah, blah, blah. You're going to add that on at regular price, at full price. And I had numerous people during our last sale who messaged me and said, in addition to the sale items that I ordered, I would also like blah, blah, blah. And they added full price items on. So, take this opportunity that you could reach out and connect with people and you might be able to upsell them. And while you're talking to them, then you could also talk about, them maybe having some friends over, maybe for a workshop or for a party. Maybe you could get some bookings out of it. The other thing that I think is it's just really nice for customer appreciation. It's just, there are a lot of people who they really love sales, and it's just an opportunity for you to say, thank you so much for being part of my business. I really appreciate you. I am so happy that you were able to be part of this sale. And finally, it can be a way for you to find new customers. So two different ways that could happen. One would be, as has happened to me, if you post it to your Facebook wall, you can have people that, heaven knows how you got connected, but hey, maybe they've never bought from you before and now they're going to be a new customer. In addition, we are going to be asking everyone who's part of the sale to please invite a friend. And, so maybe someone that you invite is going to invite a friend and that person will become a new customer for you. Now, if your sales are between $350 and $402, I'll explain in a minute why that's a weird dollar amount, then what's going to happen is that you will be able to take the host credit for yourself. Okay, because that's going to be just enough sales to generate host credit. It won't be covering one of the orders, but that would mean that you would get, $50 in Wild Tree products for yourself. And it's always awesome to get $50 in free groceries for yourself. If the sales, however, are higher than $403, then you are definitely going to be able to use them to generate host credit that you can use to help offset the discounts that you gave out. And there's going to be a breakdown that will tell you whether you're going to be able to get 15% host credit or 20% host credit. And that breakdown is that if your sales are between $403 and $599, you'll be generating 15% in host credit. If the sales are $600 or more, you're going to be able to use the 20% in host credit. So the way this is going to work, and the reason why you've got to have at least $403 to be able to get host credit is, if you get out a little trusty calculator, let's just think about this. The minimum sales for getting host credit is $350, right? So that means if I'm entering a party with $350 in sales, then times 15% means I'm going to get $52.50 in host credit. So, and we're just going to round that up to $53, okay? So I'm going to take $350 plus $53, that's $403. So what that means is that if you collect $403 in sales, you will enter $350 as your party total, and that is going to create $52.50 in host credit. So what you're going to do is look at these order forms that you have filled out and see if, hey presto, maybe you have someone who ordered $50 or $51 or $52 or $53 worth, and that's going to be, oh, perfect. And I'll tell you, sometimes it works out that way. Because I do this every month. This is how I give free shipping every month. And it is completely amazing how often, like, the exact dollar amount that I'm looking for, one of my orders is that dollar amount. Like, okay, this is... Uh-oh. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm not sure why all of a sudden things went black, but hopefully I'm still here. This is perfect. This person's going to be my hostess. Now, if you have someone who has more than $50, then you're going to be able to use that because you will just use part of it for, you'll enter part of it in as retail, and then you can get the rest of it as host credit. Again, it's going to have to be that the numbers kind of work out. So this can sometimes be a little bit tricky to explain because it's going to vary from person to person and what you're collecting, but if you can just get a sense of how this works, and I think the written part of it might help definitely a little bit, and just kind of start playing around with the numbers and with what you've collected. I just honestly can tell you, I've never done a free shipping sale or done, well, we've only done one mega sale, but I have never had any problem with figuring out, okay, who am I going to make the hostess and be able to cover this. So again, let's just pretend that you had, you know, just the Fabulously Magic situation. You have a little bit over, you know, maybe you have $405 total in sales. Then you're going to be looking for about a $50-ish order. And that's the person you're going to make her, when you enter this party, you're going to make her the hostess. So what happens there is that you are getting her products for free because you're getting them through Wild Tree's host credit program, and yet she has paid you. You are still going to call her and get her credit card information. And it's just that when you are entering the party, so a couple things on that. I don't create an event ahead of time because I don't know who I'm going to want to have to be the hostess. Now, if you've already created the event, that is okay. You are going to be able to change hostess. You can go into the order and change the hostess. But for me, I just wait because then I can go through and figure out, okay, who's the person that I'm going to be using to be as the hostess, and then I just go in and create tasting party with her as the hostess. The second thing is that you are not going to be able, if you want to use invoicing, you will be able to invoice from your party order all of the guests, but you won't be able to invoice the hostess. And the reason why is because, as far as the computer is concerned, she doesn't owe you as much money as you want to be collecting from her, because you know, the computer is saying, hey, she's the hostess. She got this stuff through host credit. She doesn't owe you that much money. You can still charge her, but you're going to do it at the very end of the party. When you get to that point where you review and submit, that's where you can put in, which is normally where you would be putting in your own credit card. That's where you can put in her credit card payment. So that's how it's going to work. And there is a little mathematical formula that you can use, which is that you take your sales. Again, this would be if they're between $403 and $599. You're going to take the sales divided by 1.15. So let's just do that here, and we're just going to keep using this example of, let's say it's 403. I'm going to divide that by 1.15, and so that equals 350. That tells me this dollar amount is how much I want my party total to be. So that's where I'm going to look through my order form and, hey, do I have, you know, orders that total up to 350? Or can I use orders and then maybe part of somebody's order? Like, say you had someone, so say you're in this situation, you know, you're trying to look for the $50. You didn't have someone who ordered $50, but you have someone who ordered $75. Well, that's okay. Then you can make that person the host. You're just going to put in, again, hopefully if what she ordered will you know, kind of work out for you to be able to do this, be able to put in $25 of the order as retail, and then you'll be able to get the rest through host credit. So sometimes you can't get, you know, every single dollar through host credit, but you should be able to get a pretty good chunk of it through host credit. Let's say the party sales were $550. So we got $550. So I'm going to divide that by 1.15. That's $400. $478. So I'm looking for, do I have orders that are going to add up to 478? Or an easier way that I do it is I just take the 550 minus 478. Okay, I'm looking for, this is how much host credit. What I want to be able to do ideally is put in a party total of around 478, which is going to generate $72 in host credit. So I'm going to be looking through, do I have an order for $72 or approximately $72? Or as I said, it could be over $72. And that's the person I'm going to make my hostess. If I had party sales of $600 or more, then I'm going to be dividing it by 1.2. So let's say my sales added up to 600, divide by 1.2, that's 500. So I'm looking for someone who ordered $100, or could be, you know, more than $100. And then I'm just going to use the $100 for the host credit, and the other part can go into retail. So I am hoping that this is making sense to you. As I said, I will put some written instructions and try to give you some dollar amounts there. And let me just talk about a couple of exceptions that could come up. So one could be, this is an awesome problem to have. What if your sales from this Facebook party that we're going to do Sunday night, what if your sales are so big, you get so many sales that one order would really be too big to create host credit? And this actually happened to me when we did the mega sale in September. So this was an awesome supposed problem. It wasn't a problem, but I actually collected $2,000 in sales. Now, if I took 2,000 and divided it by the 1.2, that's going to be $1,600. I didn't have one individual person who ordered $400 worth of products. So what I did is I said, oh, whoa, instead of putting this through as one party order, I'm going to divide this down. And I ended up putting, I don't even remember, it was 3 or 4 party orders because it was, that enabled me to be able to take care of the host credit. When I'm doing this, I don't want to have to deliver, but that is another option for you. Another option for me would have been, I could have put that through as one party or maybe even as 2 parties if some of those orders came from people who lived near me and I didn't mind delivering. Then I could make myself, the hostess, be entering the stuff, you know, their products by using the host credit, and then just knowing I would have to deliver to them. I don't really like delivering, and for me, actually, probably 99% of the people who ordered through this sale, the mega sale that we did in September, they did not live near me. So I really needed to be able to make individual people hostesses. So the solution for me was breaking it down into several parties. So bear in mind, if you know, are in the awesome situation of, whoa, I just collected, you know, $1,500 in sales, you know, maybe you're going to break that down to 2 parties, or even more. Maybe you're going to break it into 3 parties. Okay, so that is one situation you might run into. Now, what if I think this is a little less likely to happen because I do think during a sale people kind of spend more. But what if you don't have any one person who has the sales that you're looking for the host credit? Okay, and what I mean by that is, let's say you have a $600 party, right? So you're going to enter that as a $500 party. You've created $100 in host credit, but you didn't have one individual person who ordered $100 worth of products. Then again, cross your fingers, hope maybe you have a few people who live close to you, you wouldn't mind delivering, and that maybe you have a couple of them who ordered $50 worth of products so that you could make yourself the hostess, order their stuff with host credit, and then just deliver it to them. And again, they're each paying you the $50, and you're getting their products through host credit. All right, and that was, I was just looking at my notes here, make sure I covered everything. In my other situation was just pointing out that if you didn't, like if you didn't have the $50 order, but if you had someone at 75, maybe you'll be able to divide it down. I'm looking again at my notes to see anything else I want to make sure I cover with you. So just bear in mind again, you can't invoice the hostess. You are going to need to collect her payment for sure by getting in touch with her. But think about, you've got a couple of options on collecting payments. One is you certainly can use the invoicing system. In any event, what I do strongly suggest after we have this party is that you total up their order, that you send a message to them and say, Susie, thank you for being on the sale. Hey, my records are showing that you wanted the Alfredo, the kids' cheese, the rancher, the whatever. Is that right? Did I miss anything? If you want to invoice her, then you could say right there, so your total on this is whatever. Hey, as long as I'm putting an order in for you, is there anything else that you'd like to add? And I would definitely look in your contact database and see what her address is and verify the address. I have run into a few times where my customers have moved and I've been like, oh, thank goodness I asked. Hey, is this still your address? So check if it is still the person's address. And then tell them, if you're going to be using the invoicing system, tell them, okay, watch for an email. And if you can please, pay that within 24 hours, that would be awesome. One thing to be aware of is that when these orders ship, Wild Tree is going to be sending them an email that'll say, also, thank you for your order, and here's what your order was, and now it has shipped. Now remember, this sale is coming from you, that you are just, collecting less money from them. You're providing them with the discount. So anything coming out from Wild Tree is going to have the regular price. So I do feel it's really helpful to make sure that you tell your customer, if you talk to them, you can just tell them verbally, but if not, either send an email or put it in this message to say, oh, by the way, when you get a confirmation of your order from Wild Tree, it's actually going to show the regular price because I am personally providing this sale, and I am controlling what gets charged to your card. I'm charging, X dollar amount, and I'm paying the difference myself. And, Wild Tree's receipt that they show you is going to just be generated by the computer, and it's just going to show you the regular price. So, please know that I am charging you this price and you just saved, $20 or whatever they've saved, just so that they don't get that and think, oh, hey, wait a minute, I thought you said this was going to be a sale. Now, the other reason why I think if you have time, that it would be wonderful to try to connect with people by the phone to collect their payment from, is that it would give you the opportunity to do a few things. It would give you the opportunity to try to upsell. And again, you could do this through private messaging and through email as well. So do try to do these things, whether it's by conversation or whether it's through, through an email. But I feel like connecting with these people, you have the opportunity to try to upsell them. Hey, do you need anything else? To find out, would they like to, maybe they would be interested in booking an event. And you could say, if there's someone that has done workshops with you before, maybe you can say, oh, Susie, gosh, it's been such a long time since we made meals. I am booking my workshops for March and April. What do you feel, what do you think about getting your friends back together? Or maybe say, Susie, I am so excited about these new shakes that we have. What do you think about getting your friends together for a tasting party and taste the shake? So you want to try to upsell, you want to try to get bookings. I would definitely take the opportunity to check to see, gosh, do you know about our app? When a few months from now, when you're needing more products and you need to reorder, this is a really convenient way for you to reorder and teach them how to use the app. So I'm sorry this went a little bit long, but there's a lot to explain. I hope that it's going to be helpful to you. Look for the document, see if that helps you too. And then, sorry for my screen blacking out. And have fun with this. Reach out to your upline leader if you have questions, and let's have an awesome sale.